right. Okay. Welcome to Jewel Talk Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great week so far, and I am happy to be here on tonight. And today I will be talking about trust, how to learn to trust again. Trust is a serious thing, it's a bond between people, and it builds relationships. And you have different levels of trust. You have the rule trust, like you set boundaries and you set guidelines to, people being in your life. And like it's like a job. If you go to the job, they have a certain trust factor that if you don't do this, you get rolled up or you get fired or whatever like that. It's the kind of rule thing. Then you have the knowledge. Just living life. You've been in life and you know how to treat people. You can see by their reactions if you do or say something and it's offensive or something like that. So life has taught you how to just be trustworthy. And then you have the identity trust is like, you know me. You know my goals, you know my ambitions, you know things about me. And that's another level of trust. And sometimes those trusts can be broken. And that's where I go back to the fives, your friends. You put them in categories 1 to 5 because you have to know how much trust to give people and when. If you're giving trust too soon, because if you just meet somebody, you trust them on what they say until they disprove themselves. But for people that you know and stuff like that, you put that trust in them, and it's a building thing. Like you keep building and building because your friend becomes your best friend. Your husband was your friend first, and then y'all dated. It escalates as well as the wife or something like that. So it's a building process. A lot of times we can get into a situation where you have the person that has broken the trust and the person that got hurt by the broken trust. And that is two different things. And if you are trying to learn how to trust again, you have to see if the relationship is worth it. Sometimes it's just not worth, like rebuilding it, but you have to forgive and move on. And you don't want to enable somebody to continue to be untrustworthy in your life. A lot of times we take things for granted and we just let things go. For example, if I have every day I have a piece of chocolate cake on my desk or sitting somewhere, and I say, well, today I don't want it, and somebody come in and they take it, my friend come in and take it, and for 5 days I just didn't want the cake, but on the 6th day I wanted the cake, but she came in and took it anyway. That's a trust broken right there because she has not asked me. And if I allow her to do that without saying, next time ask me for the cake, because on the 7th day, if she do the same thing, I'm letting it go, then I have a responsibility. You cannot blame the person that has broken the trust if you have been enabling them to do that. And sometimes we do that without taking that responsibility that we allowed it. And you have to make sure that you speak up for yourself and you set those boundaries so trust won't be broken. Some people don't know how to be trustworthy because they just jacked up. Then some people don't know because they just don't know. They have to learn you and things like that. So discernment is a key when you are in a trust relationship with somebody. You really have to have that discernment to know what you can trust them with, because people have behaviors. They just don't get up one day and decide, they're going to be untrustworthy. It's just their character issue. If they have a character flaw, they need to fix it. And maybe you are the person to identify it for them so they can fix it. So you want to first see if the relationship is worth rebuilding and keeping, because people are flawed and we do make mistakes, and you just don't want to throw everybody away because you were offended by something. And I know some trust can be deeper than others. And the longer it goes on, it's harder to repair. So it's best if you are the person that have been offended with trust, you're going to have to forgive and learn to trust again, because you can't lump everybody in the same category as far as, hi Nina, hi Letitia. You can't lump everybody into the same category and think that people are untrustworthy, because there's some amazing people out here that I've met that are great. And if I have let past experiences keep me from trusting again, I would have missed out on the opportunity of knowing great people. And you don't want to do that. So you want to allow yourself to be vulnerable again. You want to make sure that you go through the grieving process, whatever that is, but you don't want to stay the victim. You don't want to just keep reliving the situation and keep being victimized by a situation that happened. You learn and you move on. Sometimes people can get stuck and they stay stuck in that betrayal, and instead of processing it. And you have to process it and set expectations for yourself when you start back friendships with that person or someone else. Live and learn from that mistake that of trusting somebody that was not trustworthy. If you are the person that broke the trust, it is your job. Again, it is your job. Again, it is your job to prove yourself. You cannot get upset with the person that you broke the trust with, because you have to do the work. You broke a good thing, or you broke a trust with them, so you have to rebuild that trust. And I'm like, people just don't get up doing stuff. They have a thought and they keep on with that thought until it turns into an action. So for you to break a trust, you probably was doing stuff before then. They may not have spoke up on it, but you have to build that trust back with them. You may have to ask them, so what can I do? You have to do the hard work. And if you do it for 6 months and they still haven't forgiven you, it depends on what it is. And if like, again, is it worth rebuilding that relationship? But you want to make sure you have good character and you're not just being sloppy all over the board with it. Be honest about it. If you mess up or you break a trust, be honest and talk to that person, because if you start with that deceit and lying, that is the one thing that really makes it hard for someone to trust you again, because they don't know when or if you will start back doing those same things. So make sure that you do the work to rebuild the trust, because trust is something that comes with respect and love and all that. If somebody trusts you, they seen something in you, and you have to be able to respect yourself enough to say, okay, they trust me. I have to, honor that trust that they have for me and not abuse it. Some people are just takers, and that's what they are, and they'll always be that way. But you have to have that discernment to be able to know how far to go with people. But I believe in trust. I think that we all should be trustworthy, and we should all be able to carry that in our character as a great jewel, a great treasure, because trust is very, very important when it comes to living this life. This world can be cruel, but if you have trust, it helps you out a lot, and it takes you far. It brings favor. It brings you into your destiny and into your promise and your dreams. I think it's very important, and we need to be under people and with people. Take classes. I mean, I learned a lot of this from just my church, World Overcomers, just being under that ministry, and you having all these great people. You have the pastor speaking on character issues and trust and stuff like that. You have to be trustworthy. So make sure you invest in trust and being able to be trusted. And this has been my time. But y'all see me rocking my new Chosen Jewel shirt. This gonna be out soon, this spring. It's in production now. But inbox me and get you one and have a cool shirt. I got them in white and black, and these are just regular cut. It's no fancy cut to these. But again, thank you guys for joining me tonight on Jewel Talk Tuesday. And make sure that you evaluate your situation and you set those boundaries for those that do not quite get it yet, but be trustworthy. I say that. Have a great week, and I'll see you on next week. Bye.